Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are hearing that the Utah Jazz are active in the trade market. Yes. The exact quote we're hearing from James Hansen of Salt Lake City Dunk, that Tim MacMahon mentions the Jazz will be players in the trade market. And it obviously that makes sense. I want to hear your thoughts down below. I personally think it's for Tyler Hero. Danny Ainge is probably saying like, "Oh, I can get Tyler Hero for just a first round pick and maybe some contract young players we don't necessarily see as part of our future." Sure, because what we heard the other day, if you guys didn't know this, that Tim MacMahon and Zach Lowe mentioned that the Jazz are so high on Keontae George, and the belief is that the Jazz are trying to find out if Keontae George can be their starting point guard. So my assumption is they believe they don't have their point guard. So when they look at Tyler Hero and that they could potentially get him pretty darn cheap in comparison to any other year, they're probably going like, okay, you consider how many picks they'll be taking, be taking over or making in the next 10 years. They can actively, make upgrades around this roster by sacrificing one of the lesser picks or a couple of the lesser picks. So obviously, my thought process is, and just like James Hansen, is if they don't make trades like this trade for Tyler Hero, which would send assets to the Blazers for the Heat, they lose the assets because some of those draft picks would either supplant the starters or become nothing. For every first round pick that goes well, there's a James Young, there's an Anthony Bennett. And that's not something any of us could see Danny Ainge ever doing. So my thought process is, hey, they probably look at this and they're like, we could bring in Tyler Hero, Keontae George, and they have Keontae George, and then they also have Talen Horton-Tucker, and they're like, those three can figure it out. One of them can be our point guard. And I think that's a better place to be in than where they are right now. And that's definitely where I want to hear your guys' opinions, as I think it's going to be interesting as this trade market continues to evolve, because like everyone else, we expect the asking price on Tyler Hero to be just a first round pick, maybe 2 first round pick and a young player. So now how that can go down is all a difference of opinion. But again, it goes back to the thought process that, yeah, like this is definitely a roster that has the opportunity to take the chance of bringing in someone like Tyler Hero, being able to bank on him or Keontae George becoming their starting point guard because of the situation that they're in. Also, if they brought in Tyler Hero, can we talk about how white this roster would be? Danny Ainge would be questioned for being like racist. I'm sorry. All right. It was one thing for having a white roster in Boston. I mean, you are in Utah, so he's going to be like, we're building the perfect roster for Bryn Young. That's so stupid, guys. But either way, what I do think is Tyler Hero is going to be a guy that could potentially be on the Utah Jazz. I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. If you guys are still watching the video and want to support, independent NBA journalism, hit that like and subscribe button. It would mean the world.